today I have a really big announcement to make. So next week, we officially launch season 2 of the Small Business Showcase, which I'm going to get into a little bit more about. But more importantly, we have been able to land a vital partner in the role, and it's this announcement that I've been dying to get out for weeks on end. And why the announcement is so big is it's not just who it is, but also what it enables. So as of next week, because of this partnership, we are going to be able to roll out 2 episodes each week. And even more importantly, we have the ability to get so much more reach as a result of this partnership. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome Elisheva Gilbert from Sasfin Bank. Hello.
Hello. What a fabulous warm welcome. Thank you, Mark.
I'm so glad you're here. It has been killing me to not say anything to the masses. And you and I were joking a little bit off air, but I do really put this question to everybody. I'm pretty sure you know it's coming, but it works like this. For people who don't know who Ellie is, who the hell are you? And what is the value that you add to the world?
Amazing question. Thank you. So I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and the Head of Small Business at Sasfin. But really the value that I add to the world is my ability to enable others to be the best versions of themselves. I call it my side hustle, but it's not an active business that I pursue. But I assist organizations and individuals, including school children, in terms of self-development. I think it's really, really important because I live by the philosophy that we are because I am. And really, the more I am, the more I bring to the party. I either enable or I disable. It's like you and I going to a party together and we both come back and you say, I had the most amazing time. And I'll be like, oh, that was rubbish. We were at the same party, same music, same people, same food, same decor, same everything. But how we showed up determined how we experienced that party. It all starts with me. And that's really the value that I add to the world. It puts a lot of onus on me to be working on my own self-development and growth because you've got to practice what you preach. Really
well said. And, you know, today is actually technically the first day we've met in person, but we've known each other for a long time. Thanks COVID, thanks Zoom and all sorts of virtual meetings. And, you know, one of the things that I've really admired about you watching you from afar is I really do believe that you practice what you preach. And I think it's a perfect segue into the next question, which is, as this Small Business Showcase has come about, certainly season 2 of it, I'd love to lead with the question on why the hell has Sasfin decided to get involved with the Small Business Showcase?
I think the more important question is why the hell not? Because it's the most incredible showcase. You know, just this weekend, we saw famous Keiki by Davy, who featured on Small Business Showcase 1 in the Sunday Times. Who in their wildest imagination would have thought that he would have been a Sunday Times feature? It is just the most incredible story. Yes. When you speak to entrepreneurs or small business owners anywhere around the world, they will cite the same issues that they have time after time. It's cash flow, it's access to markets, it's marketing, it's distribution, it's sales. And really, this Small Business Showcase enables a small business owner. I think one of the most incredible parts as well is that you are a small business owner yourself. And you are enabling others and in turn enabling yourself. You are giving them access to markets, access to marketing. And we see now that Keiki by Davy, he's going to be going on a baking course next month. He ultimately wants to open his own coffee shop and serve cake and pastries, and he wants a car. And you have enabled so much growth and development for him individually and for his business over the last year that why wouldn't we want to have more of those stories, enable more entrepreneurs? I think it's really important, you know, I'm going back to we practice what we preach. Our purpose statement is really to enable the growth of business in this country. And it's so nice to say, it's wonderful to have it as a plaque and everyone says, yeah, this is our purpose. But we really live it. We're not just about talk, we're about action. So when this opportunity presented itself to us, it was so obvious for us to pursue. And we're as excited as you, we just couldn't wait to get started.
I've actually got goosebumps thinking about it. I'm not saying that lightly. Okay, so for the viewers there, I want to just give you a little bit of context, and then I'm going to come back to you. About 9 months ago, when COVID hit, we obviously got a bit decimated in the form of suits and sneakers because we were running in-person events at the time, and now we weren't allowed. And then, as a personal, you know, in my personal capacity as a speaker, the same thing applied. When we made the shift to the studio that we're sitting in right now, there was a little idea that came about in the form of, well, there must be so many other businesses that have been caught in this horrible rut through no fault of their own because of COVID. And what happens if we could use some of this downtime to just shine a spotlight on these guys? So bring them in, do an interview with them, tell cool stories, and then use the different social channels that we have to put it out. Now, I must tell you, there are many things that I experiment with in my life, and oftentimes in the back of my head, there is an angle to it. I know it could potentially turn into this or that, but this is not one of those cases. If you put a gun to my head and ask me honestly what I thought when we hosted the very first one, I just thought this is a very cool thing to do. Maybe it's a little bit of marketing and shows the space, but outside of that, I had no further expectation. So for us to come to you now, where, 9 months later, this small business showcase has taken on a life of its own, and now we've even got a partner in the form of Sasfin, who really are allowing us to do two things. Like I said in the beginning, first, we have been able to create a structure. We can create and distribute 2 episodes each week, which is phenomenal because it really helps us find a lot of these different small businesses. I think we only did 15 in total last season, but now we can do quite a bit more. But equally importantly, we now have the ability, because of a bit of budget that we get to put toward boosting and getting it out, that so many more people get to see this content. And that's the goal and the hope. So the question I'd love to put back to you again is, what is Sasfin's, you mentioned it briefly, but I really want to get into the heart of it. Why do you give a shit about SMEs? What is the link between, say, Sasfin and the SME sector, and why is it important to you guys?
It's a great question, and I could say what everybody says. SMEs are the heartbeat of the country. They have the opportunity to create employment, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, we ourselves are entrepreneurial. We know what the starting point feels like. We know what it looks like. And we live it every day through our clients who are also at that starting point. We understand what the growth journey is about. And it would be ridiculous of us to forget where we came from and say, well, we're now like a big small business, so actually we're just concerned about medium business and profit, etc. We're a purpose-led organization. And I think that's also really attracted us to you, because you're a purpose-led individual and a purpose-led organization. And there was a meeting of hearts first, because our hearts are in the right place. Our intentions are there. It's like saying, well, we're going to be authentic. We don't have to be anything, because if we're just ourselves, we're naturally playing to our strengths. So once again, it goes back to, we don't just say it, we actually do it. And for us to enable the growth of business in this country is absolutely critical. A great example of this would be, when we built our business bank, often when a business goes to a bank, it's a retail offering that's tailored for a business. We're a business bank that's created for a business. It isn't a retail offering. So our mindset is always about enablement, understanding where the business is at any given point and how we can enable that journey.
So I have to level with you because, as Suits and Sneakers has now been operating for about 6 years, I've had some real highs and lows with partners and sponsorships. And what I've learned in the process is to become unbelievably picky from our end. If I'm talking a bit selfishly, let's say, when not to get involved with partners. And I've learned some hard lessons which aren't worth repeating here, but the lesson that came out of it is that money matters, but not so much above the value system connection. So one of the things I think that's been so phenomenal to observe in the last few months is that this initial relationship was struck quite informally between, say, Suits and Sneakers and Sasfin. We did little things together, like we landed up on similar workshops together. I think that was kind of a starting point. Social media does help bring these things to the fore. Then I did a small talk for you guys, and I really got to see the way you guys operated behind the scenes, because when you do a talk, like I did the happiness talk, I also have to understand what you guys are trying to get at and where you're at. So that was phenomenal. And then something really resonated with me in that beginning of this year, you guys came on my digital marketing workshop. And it was in those discussions that we were having when we have breakout sessions to really understand that you guys aren't just trying to put out these cute little slogans. And it's a bugbear of mine, as we discussed, but I think it's worth mentioning here on camera, because most companies are very good at trying to create a new slogan and then get people to believe these things. But inherently, people in 2021 and beyond have finely tuned bullshit meters. We can hear that advert type tone instantly. And so one of the things I've been saying to companies for long is pick a problem and solve it. Because then you can say to people, yeah, we say these things, but look at what we're doing. And if you do it with a consistent patch, you become known for that. It becomes synonymous for you. So this is where I've really got to resonate with you guys is over the time. Then we started having meetings about this, and today we land up. So I would love to just hear from your perspective as we kind of kick off next week. What are some of the things that you're hoping for from a small business showcase? What are some of your goals, if I could call it that, for the small business showcase?
The ultimate goal is SME as hero. Ultimately, putting them in the center and wrapping our arms around them and enabling them to grow their business, giving them that access to markets, helping them with their marketing, and perhaps getting involved a bit more deeply with these businesses. It's not just about showcasing them, and certainly it is about sharing the message, but there must be other ways that we will enable them as well. And so we'll go on this journey together, we'll learn along the way, and wherever we can help and support, because I was speaking to a female entrepreneur a few weeks ago. She's doing her thesis on female entrepreneurs. And I was asking her, they expect when they come to a bank or financial services institution that you're going to have the product, you're going to have the service. That's unexpected. But often what a small business owner needs is support. They need emotional support, mental support. They need support around all the other softer issues, which are the harder issues. And that's something that we also are working on at the moment in terms of that non-financial support. It's absolutely critical, in addition to SME lending and all the other things that banks offer. But what is the prize? The prize is if we see this business grow and that we actually had an impact on not only that business owner's life, but those his family, those he employs, that his business may grow. That's a success story. It's like you say, we don't want to tinker here. We're playing the long game. This is not a short game. We're not here for 6 months or a year. We're here for as long as you're in business. And it should be for now, for the next however many years. And we want to partner with people who also are playing the long game.
Yeah, I love that so much. So I guess what I would love to present to you and to people that are watching is the scenario that what we're doing really as a partnership, I really do believe this because of all the meetings we've had. We are ultimately trying to showcase the best of these small businesses that they're doing great things, but maybe they just don't have the capacity for other people to see them in the light that they are truly operating in. So I do believe that's an absolute that we can come together. We can use the studio, we can use some budget, we can really tell cool stories. What I want to know beyond that is, you're not doing it for fun either, and I think it should be noted that that's more than fair. In every exchange that we have in business, there is a value creation and a call to action. So I believe it's quite easy, right? On the Sasfin end, what you guys are saying is, here's a great platform, how do we enable it and put some money behind it and a bunch of other things, some support to grow this. What would your call to action be? Like, if I'm a small business and I'm a bit hazy on what the difference between, say, Sasfin and the general banks is, how would you, decipher between the two? How would you explain it? And what would your call to action be?
Great question. We're a small big bank. And ultimately, we wrap our arms around you. We actually really care. So where others will say no, we will try and find a way. We've done amazing sessions of research and in field with clients, with potential clients as well. And the one thing that they continually say about us is that Sasfin is solution driven. They will try and find a way. We understand, once again, I go back to, we understand that journey. You're not going to be caught up in a call center. You're not going to be pushed from pillar to post. You go to one place and we're there to help you solve your problem. We're there to find a solution. We're there to help your business grow. And I think that's what differentiates us. We understand that journey, and it's absolutely critical because you've got to be like-minded. Being a small business owner is a very, very personal thing. It's a business, but it's very personal because it's your baby, essentially. So you want somebody to match that energy. You want somebody to mirror that, to actually feel like you are really cared about versus you one of a number. We value your call. We'll answer it in 300 minutes.
I love that. And again, because of the history that I've had with Suits and Sneakers, we've had different affiliations over time, and it's taught me that I have to be really specific about what we're trying to do, with who, and why. And I've just found over this time, it's been a long time coming now, 6 to 8 months. It's not something that we just decided on a short time ago. Our interactions have been world-class. I really have watched you guys deliver on the things that you do and not just talk about the things that everybody has to say. It's easy. It's easy to say we're the best, we serve the best food, we're the best bank, whatever. It's a different story when it comes, push comes to shove. So, Eli, I really am so excited that you guys have come on this journey. I want to just give the viewers just a small glimpse as to what you can expect. Like I mentioned to you, what we're looking at is 2 episodes each week. They will typically air on a Tuesday and Thursday, unless something falls on a public holiday or, we'll have a little bit of movement, but mostly what you can expect is Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will always showcase a small business. On top of that, we will be having regular segments with Sasfin to bring you guys in, I would say once, maybe even sometimes twice a month, but we'll only be doing it as and when we believe there's world-class content to be produced. I think that's important. And so we'll have you along for the ride to kind of add some commentary, share some of your thoughts along the way, talking about some of the offerings that you have. But really the front and center goal will be to enable and showcase these small businesses. What I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity to maybe just highlight anything I may have missed. And if that's not the case, that's your close-up camera over there. So I would love to just give you the closing thought, if you will, before I wrap up. So your call to action, your thought, anything that you want the audience on the other end to know.
I'm really grateful that you've spent the last 15 minutes engaging in this conversation with us. I'm grateful for your time. And really, I'm very excited to be partnering with Mark on the Small Business Showcase. The part I'm most excited about is to see these small businesses succeed. And we're in it for the long game. And I want to be able to see them grow. I want to see Keiki by Davy get his car, open his coffee shop. I want to be there at the opening event. And I want many, many stories like this. And we are going to do our best to try and enable as we go along. Because this is not just about us filming a small business. This is about us taking the long game, playing the long game with a small business, and really watching them be and truly feel them being the heartbeat of our economy. So it's a privilege and it's an honor for Sasfin to be part of this, and we look forward to watching this unfold with you. So please come along with us on this journey. And please support small businesses. They need you. They really, really need you. Just as they are the heartbeat, so are you. We are because I am and because you are. Thank you.
So I have to tell you, I don't know why, I've been a little bit of a hippie lately. Like I've been feeling so emotional about the world, and it's been a good and a bad thing. And watching you kind of do this it just matters. Because I can honestly say, as a small business, it is brutal out there at the moment. You are kicking and swimming and doing everything you can, and there's no certainty. And that would really be my call to action to you guys. If you've there's a beautiful saying, that entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but everybody should try it once. And I think the reason that is, there are many, but one of the ones that comes to mind is entrepreneurship really has transferable skills that you will pick up and use later on in life and across your life. And when you've ever started a business and you understand that you start with nothing and you have to generate this inertia inward to build something from nothing, it is a beautiful process, but it is difficult. And so whenever someone else comes along and says, hey, you guys are doing a great job, I can just see you need a bit of a hand, and puts that effort in, it's huge. So guys, please help all of us, not just from a Sasfin perspective, not just from a Suits and Sneakers perspective. Over the upcoming months, you are going to see the most incredible interviews with people who have had the absolute crap kicked out of them in the last 18 months, 2 years, on top of the rigors that come with small business. And you're going to hear about some of the most incredible things that these people are doing. So please join us for that journey. As Elish says, I'm so grateful to you guys for jumping on with this and helping us make this bigger than what it was. I can't wait to see what unfolds. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from us. Until next week, Ellie, thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next week with the Small Business Showcase, Episode 1, Season 2 on Tuesday. Thanks guys so much for watching this. And if you can, please help us share this along.